Shriners are men who enjoy life. This is evident to the thousands of men, women, and children who line American streets every year to watch a shrine parade. To many, these nobles of the red fez mean circus fun, a trip to the enchanting world of the big top, where excitement, thrills, and laughter embrace young and old alike. Sports fans know the Shriner as sponsor of San Francisco's annual East-West Gridiron Classic and the North-South football game, horse shows, and other special sporting events. Yes, the Shriner does enjoy life, but it isn't all made up of parades and socializing. He gets much more enjoyment out of sharing his good life with thousands of unfortunate kids. Kids whose lives have been twisted by crippling diseases and scarring burns. This is the other side of the Shriner. All 900,000 of them, each wearing the red fez of hope. Yes, this is the other side, the little-known side of the Shriner, supporting hospitals for crippled and burned children, regardless of financial standing, no matter what their race or creed. The doors of the first Shriner Hospital for Crippled Children opened in 1922. Since then, 18 more orthopedic units and 3 burns institutes have opened under the Shrine banner. Located at strategic points across the United States and in Canada and Mexico, these hospitals are rated among the finest medical institutions in the world. They have been designed to fit the needs and comfort of the young patient. The main objective of Shriner's hospitals is to cure and rehabilitate crippled and burned children through surgery and therapy. But it hasn't been forgotten that play and fun are important parts of every child's life. Play and recreation rooms, complete with games, toys, and stuffed animal friends, all count in this life-straightening process. The highest standards of public school education are provided in each hospital by specially qualified teachers assigned by local boards of education. Operating and physical therapy rooms are equipped with the best treatment equipment that money can buy. Highly skilled medical teams of doctors, nurses, and technicians all play major roles in the lives of the kids at Shriner hospitals. During prolonged periods of treatment, the hospital becomes more than just a medical treatment center. It's also a school and home, all under one roof. Everything, clothing, food, dental and medical care, toilet articles, braces, crutches, and all other appliances and necessities are provided without any cost to the family. The only requirement of the family is wholehearted cooperation and understanding. Since the opening of that first Shrine Hospital for Children, more than 200,000 young patients have been cured or materially helped. But the Shrine's humanitarian drive didn't mark time with the opening of the 19th Hospital for Crippled Kids. Acutely aware of the shortage of medical centers to treat badly burned children, the Shrine went to work in the 1960s to establish and finance a program to meet this challenge. The first Shrine Burns Institute opened in Galveston in March of 1966. Since then, 2 more units, one in Cincinnati and another in Boston, are treating young burns victims. These ultra-modern facilities, which house many disciplines of medicine and science, work in unison to free the burned child from the bonds of disfigurement and suffering. Dramatic, inspiring results are achieved daily in these hospitals because each step in the care of the children is critically and thoroughly analyzed. But the burn problem is not a simple one. The burn patient is a prime target for infection and must be treated in a completely sterile environment. Through research and the constant advances being made in this area, Shrine Burns Institutes are equipped to combat and conquer infection. This is now possible through the use of germ-free, bacteria-controlled isolation units and the latest air purification systems. Portable treatment units are surrounded by transparent plastic curtains that hang from the ceiling to the floor. Self-sealing flaps on the side permit members of the medical staff to care for and treat the young patient. Arm-length sterile gloves are worn by medical personnel during treatment periods to further protect the patient. Dressings, bandages, and other necessary items that must be admitted into the sterile environment of the cubicle are placed in a sterilizing cabinet with doors on both ends. One end is accessible from the open ward, while the other protrudes into the cubicle. Something placed in the cabinet from the outside is sterilized by ultraviolet rays inside the cabinet. The germ-free item then can be removed by the gloved hands of the attendant inside the patient area. Within the transparent walls of his cubicle, the child is guarded against his own bacteria and any other that has succeeded in penetrating first-line defenses by a fresh, clean air system. Sterile air enters the unit through an overhead duct and washes down over the patient. The contaminated air is then drawn into an outlet duct in the floor and recycled. This constant wash of fresh, sterile air ensures steady healing of the burned area while eliminating the danger of infection. A smoke test illustrates the effectiveness of the air wash system. Once the cubicle is filled with smoke, the air circulation pumps are activated. Within seconds, the smoke, representing bacteria-laden air, is evacuated from the isolation unit. In the constant war against infection, each of the Shrine Burns Institutes runs continuous bacteria counts, both inside the isolation cubicles and in the immediate surrounding areas outside. Bacteria are deposited on plates inside air sampling devices. Within 24 hours, cultures are incubated and grown. This is one sampling of bacteria concentration taken simultaneously on both sides of a protective isolation unit. Along with these systems that control bacteria to a point of near elimination, methods of medical treatment have equaled the vigorous pace of technology. For example, through research, a technique has been developed that has significantly reduced scar contractures and formations. Scarring is controlled on young burn victims by using a constant pressure on the burned area for at least 6 months. A gentle pressure is applied by wrapping these areas in elastic bandages. In the facial region, a material similar to that of arm and hand splints is used. A light and comfortable dressing has also been developed which the children accept and tolerate very well. It consists of a layer of fine mesh medicated gauze, which is held in place by an elasticized netting. Unlike the standard bandage, the new fine mesh type can be removed without clinging to the burned area. The emotional trauma experienced by a child being taken to the operating room has been eliminated by another research accomplishment, a new anesthetic. While the child is resting in his room in the presence of family or friends, the anesthetic is painlessly injected. Once the sleep-inducing drug takes effect, the child is taken to the operating room. After surgery, he awakens where he fell asleep, in his own room. More than 200,000 youngsters have passed through the doors of Shriner Hospitals for Crippled Children and Burns Institutes. And while the average cost of each child is somewhere around $16,000, there are severe cases in which the cost may reach into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. One child who sustained burns over 91% of her body required more than 40 transfusions, nearly 22 miles of bandages, and a countless amount of medication. The cost of this particular case will be around $500,000 once the child is released. In each and every case, however, these costs, no matter how great, are overshadowed by the joy and sentiments expressed in the faces of thankful parents, and most of all, in the eyes of a grateful child. Treatment in Shriner Medical Centers is available to any child 15 years and younger, needing plastic reconstructive or corrective surgery and rehabilitation as a result of burns or crippling diseases. Applications are available through any Shriner, Shrine Temple, or any of the Shrine Hospitals or Burns Institutes. The application must be completed by the parents or guardian and by the referring physician. In the case of an acutely burned child needing immediate care, the physician should notify the Shriners Burns Institute directly. The child will be accepted promptly if space is available. The Shrine presently budgets more than $27 million annually to operate these medical institutions. While the sum is staggering, the men of the Red Fez believe it to be insignificant when weighed against their goal, returning these children to a better and more normal life. Nearly 80% of the total finances is derived from wills, and these funds are then invested in management accounts, usually within the originating community. Income from these investments represents the second largest source of revenue for operating Shriner hospitals and Burns Institutes. Shrine-sponsored fundraising events, circuses, horse shows, and the various athletic and social activities are the third major source of income. Then, backing their belief that an investment in children is insurance in the future of America, 900,000 nobles of the Shrine pay an annual hospital assessment. As long as the Shrine exists, there will be helping hands outstretched to unfortunate child victims of burns and crippling diseases. This is the other side of the Shriner. While most of us recognize him by his colorful robes and parade attire, there are tens of thousands of kids who know him better by the hospitals that bear his name. To them, he's someone very special. He's the man who wears the Red Fez.